Hey guys, it's Becky from Married and Ramen. Welcome back to our channel. Recently, Scott and I went on a trip to Tokyo and it was so amazing. We visited so many cool places, we got engaged, we had a really great time. We had never been out of the country before, so we had a lot of different things that we had to kind of figure out on our own by watching videos like this, looking at blogs, Googling, doing a whole bunch of different things to figure out what we need to do when we get to Tokyo and how to get there. This is kind of like a beginner's guide to traveling to Tokyo when you've never been outside the country before. Tip number 1, book through Travelocity, Kayak, Expedia, one of those travel agency websites that helped us a ton when we were trying to figure out what we wanted to do for our trip and what days we wanted to go, when was going to be the cheapest time to go, how much airfare was going to be, and Travelocity kind of took care of all of the check-in times, the hotel. They bundle your hotel and your airfare together into one package, and that's really beneficial because there's a lot of time zone changes, layovers, different things that you might not think about being an issue when trying to book all of your flights and hotels. So having a travel agency website do all of those things for you was really helpful. Tip number 2, fly out of your closest major international airport. Scott and I are from Phoenix, and everybody said to just drive to LA and park our car for 2 weeks or however long we were there, and then fly out of LA, and we could save a couple $100s that way. At the time, it seemed like a great idea. It ended up being a huge pain in the ass. We parked our car for 2 weeks, and it ended up getting scuffed, it ended up getting damaged, and we signed a waiver, so that was there was nothing we could really do about that. And also we had to add a day to the beginning of our trip and a day to the end of our trip just for traveling from Phoenix to LA and back. We could have spent that time in Japan. We added just extra miles to my car. It would have just been more worth it to spend the extra couple $100s and fly out of Phoenix versus all of that travel time and extra money to fly out of LA. Tip number 3, make sure that when you're booking your hotel through Travelocity, you get options of which hotels that you want to pick. So make sure that you're picking one that's only a couple minutes away from a station. This is really important, at least it was for us. We're not used to walking a lot. I mean, we both have pretty active jobs. We work in a restaurant and I work with kids, so we're both really on our feet a lot, and it was no comparison to how much you walk when you're in Tokyo. And having our hotel be 5-8 minutes away from a train station was so nice because we didn't have to worry about walking 15 minutes before we have to walk even more to get to wherever we wanted to go, because you're going to take the train or the subway anywhere that you need to go. So having your hotel only be like 5 minutes away from a station is gonna really help you a lot. And even with our hotel being that close, I still soaked my feet every single night because I was not used to that kind of trauma on my feet. It was so much walking. Tip number 4, pocket Wi-Fi. It's about this big. It's basically just like a modem router thing, technology. I don't know. You throw it in your backpack or your purse and it's rechargeable, it's secure Wi-Fi. So Scott and I just synced up our phones to it and we had our own Wi-Fi. We couldn't do any standard messaging or phone calls, but any other feature on our phone we could typically use. It was about $75 and we got it through Japan Wireless, and I'll put the link in this video for that. It was about $75 for 2 weeks, and we just had it mailed to our hotel, and our hotel put it in our room on the bed for when we got there, which was amazing. So pocket Wi-Fi. Tip number 5, Google Maps helped us so much because in the beginning of the day, we would just put in our destination of wherever we were going, and it would tell us the route to get there via foot, subway, train, whatever, how much the fare was gonna cost, how long it was gonna take us. It was just a really nice tool or resource to have, especially being in a foreign country where we've never been anywhere outside of the country before ever. Having Google Maps helped us a ton. Number 6. So I know this sounds kind of like duh, but we didn't think of this one little detail, such a silly little detail, but make sure that you know your route from the airport to your hotel. It sounds insane. However, we had no idea how to get from the airport to our hotel. We had every single little detail planned except for this one. We knew how to get from the airport to Tokyo Station. It was about a 45-minute bus ride. It was about like 900 yen to get from the airport to the Tokyo station. But once we got to Tokyo station, we both kind of looked at each other and had this like, oh crap, where do we go? We were in the heart of Tokyo and our hotel was in Asakusabashi, which is a little whiles away, a pretty decent walk from Tokyo station. Mind you, at this point, we had already been traveling for a day and a half. We had all of our luggage. We had no idea how to get around the city. We didn't have our pocket Wi-Fi yet. We had no internet. Luckily, the GPS works without internet, so we could see the map on Google Maps. We just couldn't enter in any destinations. Scott was toggling from Google Maps and the Compass app on his iPhone and just going back and forth and trying to figure out how to get from Tokyo Station to our hotel. Luckily, through Gmail, he had saved our hotel as like a saved location on his Google Maps, and so it popped up on his map. Thank goodness, otherwise we wouldn't have known how to get there. It was just a total mess. Know your route. It's very important. Tip number 7, you're gonna wanna get a Suica card. It's your prepaid fare card to get onto the transit, like the Tokyo trains and subways. As long as you're staying in the greater Tokyo area, the Suica should be sufficient. You could just fill up the card with money that morning and then just use it all day or however long. You could reload all of your money at the stations, and as long as you're staying within Tokyo, you should be fine. If you end up wanting to go to Kyoto, Osaka, anywhere that's kind of outside of Tokyo, you might want to look into a Japan Rail Pass or a JRP. Tip number 8, go online to Capital One 360 and sign up for a Capital One 360 account. That's going to be a special debit card that all you have to do is sign up online. They'll mail it to you, and it's just a debit card ready to go. And you could just connect your primary bank account with that card and put all of your funds that you're going to be using in Japan onto that card. And then when you bring that Capital One 360 card with you to Japan, or any country really, you can just pull money out of an ATM and there's no international fees. And almost every 7-Eleven has an ATM where you can withdraw money, and I think it's like a $2.50 charge just to draw money out, but I think that's pretty standard at any ATM. We had a 7-Eleven that was like a block away from our hotel, so before we would go out anywhere, we would just stop at 7-Eleven, pull out some cash. Everywhere in Japan is cash only. I didn't see anywhere where you could actually use a debit card. Everywhere was cash. So make sure that you just pull out cash every day, every other day, whatever, and have cash on you. And actually, it's pretty important that you have like a little coin purse or something that you can use, because anything that's less than 1,000 yen, which is about $10, is going to be a coin. So 500 yen, $5-ish is a coin. And you're gonna have a lot of coins. So make sure that you have like a little coin purse or something to put your 360 card and all of your coins and change in. Tip number 9. We had Google Translate on our phone, and it was actually really helpful in a couple situations. Most places we went to had English translations, or there was somebody staffed that knew a little bit of English that we could communicate with. There wasn't very many instances where we had no idea what we were doing or what we were looking at or what we were trying to read. But in those few instances, having Google Translate was really nice. You just take a picture of whatever you want to read, and then you just swipe your finger across the characters in Japanese, and it'll translate it into English on your phone. And we didn't use it that often, but it was really nice to have. And tip number 10, you're gonna wanna bring your own medicine and like hygiene products. From what I've read is that we just have different immune systems here than they do in Japan. Our medicine here is a little bit stronger. Ibuprofen, Tylenol, things like that are gonna be stronger than they are in Japan. And we brought ibuprofen, Imodium, Tylenol, Excedrin, Emergency, Dayquil, NyQuil, all the basics just to be safe. We actually used most of it. We're eating a bunch of new foods. We were walking a ton. We were in a completely different climate than we were used to. So it was really nice to have all those things ready to go. If you don't bring Emergency or any vitamins like that, there's a lot of vitamin C drinks in the vending machine, so don't worry too much about that. But ibuprofen, stuff like that, maybe just pack a couple travel-sized ones just to be safe. Ladies, same thing with feminine hygiene products. I've read that they're a little bit different in Japan than what we have here, and if you're not comfortable with trying something new, especially if you're on vacation, just pack some extra stuff just to be safe. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that helped you with planning your trip to Tokyo. Make sure you like and subscribe and leave any comments that you may have. See you later, guys.